Throughout the history of Microsoft Windows, getting to where it is today wasn't always smooth. There were plenty of failures along the way. And have you ever wondered which versions are considered the worst of all time? In this video, I'm going to find out. We'll take some of the most hated Windows versions, put them to the test with one of the most popular games in the world, Minecraft, and then compare them to one of the best Windows versions ever made, just to see how big the difference really is. Let's get started. The first operating system I want to talk about is Windows 7 Starter. And when people think about it, they don't think of a lightweight, optimized version of Windows 7. Instead, they think of something that looks like the full version, but feels like half of it is missing. No arrow effects, a super basic interface, no visual polish, and worst of all, you can't even change the wallpaper. Since I've never used this version of Windows before, I had to install it from scratch. And yeah, things didn't go smoothly at first. I ran into a few issues during the setup, but luckily after trying a different method, I finally got it working. I'm not going to go too deep into the installation process. I want to focus more on the experience of actually using it. Right away, the desktop feels somewhat familiar. The wallpaper looks a bit like Windows 7, but more washed out and basic. And just like you'd expect, I can't even change the wallpaper. There are also some pretty serious limitations. For example, the system only uses up to 2 GB of RAM, even though my machine has 16 GB installed. On top of that, finding drivers, especially for Ethernet, was a real struggle. Another major issue is GPU support. I couldn't install drivers for newer cards like the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1650 or anything more modern. They're simply not supported on this version of Windows. So I had no choice but to go with an older card, like the NVIDIA GeForce GT 645. Thankfully, that one installed without any problems. And here's one interesting thing. Despite all the limitations, I can actually run more than 3 applications at once, which completely debunks the old rumor that this system was limited to just 3 apps. But the biggest challenge for me? Getting Minecraft to run. Most of the time, it simply wouldn't launch due to compatibility issues between the software architecture and the operating system. I tried everything, installing different versions of .NET Framework, tweaking Java, but nothing seemed to work. And then, at the very last moment, when I was about to give up, it finally launched. That's when I realized something important. This system can only run older versions of Minecraft, around version 1.8 or earlier. Anything newer just won't work, because the underlying libraries are simply too outdated. For testing, I used Minecraft version 1.8.9 vanilla. At 16 chunks, the FPS sits around 120, with some occasional drops. To make things more interesting and more fair, I decided to compare it directly with one of the best Windows versions, which is Windows 10 Pro. Same hardware, same amount of RAM, same settings, and honestly, the FPS difference isn't huge. But I did notice that the older system tends to feel less stable with more frequent frame drops compared to Windows 10. Now, when I lower it down to 2 chunks, using the exact same scene, things get interesting. The FPS on the older Windows version can sometimes even outperform Windows 10, which shows something pretty important. Performance isn't always about the Windows version itself. Instead, older versions tend to struggle more with modern features and newer technologies, rather than raw FPS in simpler scenarios. Next up is a name that a lot of you have probably heard before: Windows Vista. If Windows 7 Starter was hated for not having enough, then Vista was hated for the exact opposite. It was too heavy, too resource-hungry, and honestly, pretty unstable. Right from launch, Vista demanded much stronger hardware, but the performance just didn't match. A lot of systems struggled to run it smoothly, and everything felt slow and sluggish. In fact, in some places like Italy, people even jokingly called it Windows Vista, with S Vista meaning a mistake or oversight, which pretty much says everything about how it was received. On top of that, there were tons of driver issues. Some devices didn't work properly, and some just didn't work at all. So instead of being a true upgrade over Windows XP, Vista ended up becoming one of the most criticized versions of Windows ever. And things got so bad that Microsoft had to quickly release Windows 7, basically to fix everything Vista got wrong. For this test, I went with the 64-bit version of Windows Vista. Surprisingly, it's actually pretty lightweight, using only about 1.7 GB of RAM. But then, the real problems start. Vista is extremely picky when it comes to browsers, mainly because the system is just too outdated. I tried a bunch of different versions, but most of them either refused to launch or just didn't work at all. Luckily, I eventually found MyPal, which is based on an older version of Firefox. And finally, I was able to access the web. But that wasn't the end of the struggle. Finding drivers that this version of Windows would actually accept was painfully difficult. It took a lot of trial and error just to get everything working properly. And just like with Windows 7 Starter, this system is limited to older versions of Minecraft. Anything newer simply won't run on this OS. At 2 chunks, the performance doesn't feel that different compared to Windows 7 or even Windows 10. But there's one thing I really have to give credit to these older operating systems for. Their RAM usage is incredibly low. The system is only using around 2% of RAM, while Windows 10 is sitting at about 16% under the same conditions. When I push it up to 16 chunks, the FPS still stays above 100, very stable with almost no noticeable frame drops. Even at 32 chunks, performance barely drops, and it remains surprisingly smooth and consistent. Honestly, if it weren't for all the limitations, this could actually be a really great operating system, and maybe it doesn't fully deserve all the criticism it gets.
I switch over to my main PC, open a browser, and enter the IP address provided by TrueNAS. That takes me to the login screen. I enter the username and password I created earlier, and now I'm in the main TrueNAS dashboard. Everything looks clean, detailed, and surprisingly professional. In the Storage tab, I click Create Pool. I see 2 drives in mirror mode, meaning if drive fails, my data is still safe. Side is I only get 1 terabyte usable, but the reliability is worth it. Next, I go to Data, create a new dataset, and set it to SMB. After saving, the system suggests enabling the SM service. May I start? Then in the Shares tab, I can see the window.
Since this version of Windows isn't that old, the setup process was actually pretty smooth. In terms of overall experience, it feels very similar to Windows 10. Right after booting up with no apps running at all, it already uses about 2.3 gigabytes of RAM. So in a way, it's basically like a lighter, budget version of Windows 10. However, there is one major downside. The default web browsers that come with this system are completely unusable. Even if you try installing newer versions of Chrome, they simply won't run on this machine. To work around that, I ended up using Mozilla Firefox version 102, which finally allowed me to browse the web normally. Now, let's move on to gaming performance. Unlike the older Windows versions we tested earlier, this one can actually run newer versions of Minecraft. But for consistency, I'm going to stick with the same version I used before, just to make the comparison fair. Now let's move on to gaming performance. At 2 chunks, the FPS is extremely stable, staying above 500 FPS, which is honestly impressive. When I increase it to 16 chunks, the FPS drops down to around 150, but the important thing is, it stays very stable. Overall, the experience here actually feels more consistent than before. However, there is a trade-off. RAM usage is quite high, almost on par with Windows 10. So while performance is good, the overall system experience might feel a bit unfamiliar, especially if you're already used to a more traditional Windows setup. And the last name on this list is probably one most of you have never even heard of: Windows Longhorn. Now, this wasn't an official release, it was actually a beta version Microsoft was working on during the development of Windows Vista. But instead of becoming a breakthrough, it became known for something else entirely. It was a complete mess. From the start, Longhorn had huge expectations. A brand new interface, transparent effects, and a bunch of modern features that looked way ahead of its time. But the problem was, it tried to do too much, too fast. The foundation just wasn't stable enough to support all of that ambition. As a result, the system was full of bugs, random crashes, performance, and every new build felt completely different from the last. It was almost impossible to use for any extended period of time. In the end, Longhorn felt more like a lab experiment than an actual product. Features were constantly added, then removed. The system kept changing over and over again, and eventually Microsoft had no choice but to scrap most of the project and start over from scratch, which is what ultimately led to the release of Windows Vista. I actually had a really hard time getting Minecraft to run on this system. Because of the hardware limitations, I had to use an official version from Mojang, specifically Minecraft Classic. And honestly, the performance is terrible. In-game, the FPS is stuck in the single digits most of the time. Even after lowering the render distance to tiny, the FPS only improves slightly, hovering around 20 FPS. And yeah, the experience is just not enjoyable at all. At this point, I really wouldn't recommend using this operating system. It's simply too slow and too outdated for modern use. So after testing all of them, the worst one, without a doubt, is still Windows Longhorn. The other versions aren't completely terrible, but they all suffer from one major issue: limited support for modern applications. As for Windows 8, the performance isn't bad, but it's just not optimized enough to really be worth using today. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think down in the comments.